How's it going, everyone? King Blacktooth here, and I've done something with my mic. I put a little bit of padding around the outside of it. So I don't know if it sounds better. I think I sound deeper, but I don't know if that's better. So let me know one way or the other if you notice anything. So this video is about confirmed changes to some of the cards in Gwent, the Witcher card game. So these are confirmed usually by a developer in some sort of way. Now, this is only from PAX West onwards, because the game's still in beta. A lot of cards are being changed all over the place all the time. I think a long time ago, Wild Hunt Riders used to be 2 strength, and now they're 3 strength, which is quite a big difference really, because that's going to be buffed up quite a bit. But I'm just going to mention some of the cards which I think a lot of people are either worried about, were disappointed about, or, you know, were a bit confused about, and the way they've been changed recently that we've been confirmed, which is really, really reassuring to me, and hopefully it will be to you. But I think it really alters the way you think about building decks and stuff when you see some of these cards, and the potential changes. So we will have to do a little bit of speculation, because some of the changes are just, yeah, we've changed that, that's been fixed, blah, 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 but we don't know what it does. So the very first card is the Chort. We actually have proper artwork for the Chort now, so that means the 12 strength Fiend, which I think it is 12 strength now, is not the thing that spawns from the cow, and we can stop saying that it is. I think every video where I mention the cow spawning something, I always show the Fiend picture, which I believe is 12 strength now, so it's effectively a melee version of the Manticore, which is just a raw 12 strength character card for monsters. So I very much expect a booger, a ranged variation on that as well, which hopefully will work well for alchemy decks. So yeah, we have a Chort now, and so we can stop saying the Fiend is cow spawn. So the next change comes to the Elven Mercenary, which is a big one. The Elven Mercenary, if you remember, is a card that had a lot of people worried. 2 strength Scoia'tael troop card, a bit of agile on it, but it had a very interesting ability which pretty much spawned entire near hard to beat decks. Okay, very hard to beat decks indeed. And its ability was simply, you draw a special card from your deck and play it instantly. Simple as that. And the whole strategy around that was that you'd build your deck with only decoys, or maybe decoys in Nature's Gifts. And then you play the Elven Mercenary, decoy it back up, so you've wasted a turn. Play it again, decoy it back up, waste a turn. Play it again, decoy it back up, waste a turn. Then you've got the 3-head officers, they would act as decoys. So you started to stall the game so much that no other deck that wasn't a Scoia'tael stall deck like this could possibly hope to compete in terms of stall potential. You know, they couldn't keep up, they always had to pass first, which gave the Scoia'tael players enough time to do whatever they wanted. So the Elven Mercenary, there was a really nice comparison made on Twitter to a developer by Chesshaha, and he made a very nice comparison. It said, why is the Elven Mercenary loyal, meaning you play it on your side, while the Reaver Scout is disloyal? So the Reaver Scout was a 2 strength Northern Realms troop card which was disloyal, and when you played it, it pulled a card from your deck and played it instantly, but this could do specials, troops, heroes as well. So although it could do heroes, I still like the consistency that an Elven Mercenary would give you. It would always guarantee a special card, and if you built your deck with only decoys, you were guaranteeing decoys. But the Reaver Scout is disloyal. So when faced with this question, the developer said, as far as I know, this was already changed in the current build. So that's sort of a semi-confirmation. He also goes on to say there are many changes happening every day, you know, so you can't tell us anything. But I think at least it's reassuring. They know it was overpowered, they know it was really broken, kind of, and that they're changing it. Now, the most obvious change, this is speculation now, the most obvious change is that you change it to disloyal, so it becomes equal to the Reaver Scout in that it plays only special cards. And I said before, the Reaver Scout being special troop characters, heroes, basically anything from your deck. I actually think I still prefer Elven Mercenary, because yeah, you don't get heroes, but you get consistency. And I think I actually prefer the Elven Mercenary. So the question is, would it still work? I think it would, because you still playing 2 strength. You're giving it to the opponent though, and so you can't decoy it back up, and that solves that issue. But you can still run the decoy style. You could play some cards on round 1, and then when it starts getting a bit heated and the opponent hasn't passed, you could play the Elven Mercenary on the opponent's side, and then just decoy at one of the cards that you committed earlier. You know, maybe one of these Dull Bluff Honor Marksmen or Blue Stripes Commandos and such, so that you can replay them from the graveyard in a later round, and then you could just basically start withdrawing your entire board again, you know, and you don't mind about losing because you're giving the opponent strength, and they've committed a lot by this point because you've been stalling. You know, you've placed a lot of cards down and then you've been stalling. Now, one issue with this is that initially this whole Elven Mercenary strategy would work with just one Elven Mercenary. You place it down, you pick it back up. You place it down, you pick it back up. However, now you're going to need all 3 in order to make this sort of feasible. The more you have, the more stalling you could do. But obviously, the more of these you have, and if you go for that strategy, the less strength you're going to have in your hand. If you have 3 of these in your hand, and the 3 head officers, you've got no room for any strength, really. So you have to be very careful. I think it would be a good change to just make it disloyal. So the next confirmation we've got from a developer is on Regis. He says, for example, Regis is a hero in our current development version. Wink. So, if you remember what Regis is, he's a 4 strength character card for the neutral faction, and when he gets removed, he transforms into a 8 strength vampire bat and gets like brought back onto the field. So if you decoy him, he should transform and then get played back, so decoying him is useless. Normally it's Scorch or, you know, end of round things. So, he was a character card, but now he's transferred to hero. So, as a character, you couldn't really reuse him like decoy, because once he's removed, he's transformed. But you could reuse him via medics and stuff to bring out his vampire form straight away for 8 strength, which is still not that great because there's higher strength cards, character versions like the Manticore and the Fiend and stuff like that. But as a hero, if it just got a straight upgrade from character to hero, it's a bad hero. So it's 12 strength. Again, the Manticore is 12 strength and that's only a character. Reusable, buffable by Alchemist and Commander's Horn. So, you know, he's not that good if he's just a straight up upgrade. So we can speculate that they wouldn't just do a base upgrade from character to hero on Regis, because it would be bad for him. There's 15 strength heroes out there like Geralt Swordmaster, Vernon Roche and stuff like that. So he's only 12. So we can have the impression that either they've bumped his strength up in some way, or they're tweaking what his ability does. And I have no idea on that one, but I think we have to wait to see what he is. At the minute, just a straight upgrade is bad for Regis, in my opinion. So the developer also says something new about Vernon Roche. So Vernon Roche also has an ability, winky face. So Vernon Roche was a 15 strength hero for Northern Realms. And I actually like the 15 strength heroes, Geralt Swordmaster, Vernon Roche, Eredin, these types of things. I like them because on a completely fresh round, you could place the 15 strength down and then pass, and they have to spend at least 2 cards to beat it. Now I know that seems a bit simplistic, it may not work overall, but that was a strategy that I was messing around with. A lot of people find 15 strength heroes boring, which is fair enough, but I think a lot of people were upset about Vernon Roche's card because a character of his stature in the lore in the game should have more, it should be better, it should be like more wow. So apparently he's got an ability. So I have no idea what ability it is. I'm gonna try and speculate a little bit, but I'm gonna make some crazy assumptions. He's a Northern Realms card, so what is Northern Realms good at doing? They do a lot of bonds. Okay, so I don't think he would bond with anyone, it doesn't make sense. One idea would be that he would buff Blue Stripes Commandos in some way, or the cards that are affiliated with him at least. So Blue Stripes Commandos are on the board, they're all 16, you put them down, it doubles them again. Very unlikely, so ignore that one. I'd like to see something very promotion with him. So he's part of Northern Realms, which is very promotion heavy. But I would like to see some form of empower card, which is something like for every hero on your side of the board, gain +5 strength. So he would be played a lot with your heroics, your promoted cards. So the more heroes you've got on your side of the board, since Northern Realms can promote to heroes, he gets a certain amount of strength for every hero on your side of the board. I think that's a really cool ability, so I'd like to see that. But, you know, we have no idea what it is. But it's got changed, so a lot of people are happy about that. It reassures us as a community that they are listening to us. So the next card is a card which had a lot of people very disappointed. And I wonder if you can guess what it is already. So I was actually very disappointed as well. I even decided to start calling him Gaunter oh shit. Okay? Because he was just very uninspired. Just spawns three shadows. And they were all 2 strength. And they were all over the place. Which might be good in some aspects. But I really can't see it. You know, you had, I think it was 1 on melee, 2 on range. And he was siege himself. So they were all over the place. So it was really hard to get a good bolstering up with encourage cards and stuff like that. So the developer said he still spawns shadows, but the shadows will not only be a pure value. I can't say more beyond that at this time though. And then he goes on to say the shadows do have abilities now, but sadly I can't reveal what they do yet. Hopefully you'll find it interesting. So I think that's really alleviated my fears, because one of the things that I said with Gaunter oh shit was, as soon as I saw him, I said that is a shit card. Okay, they're all spread all over the place. It's only roughly 10 strength, was it? I think, you know, 6 strength on the shadows and 4 for himself. For a character card, you could decoy him up and reuse him, but they're all over the place. It's not really that helpful. And one question I gave it the benefit of the doubt though, saying maybe the shadows have got abilities. And but then they ended up not having abilities, so it was really disappointing, and it was truly a Gaunter oh shit. But now they do have abilities. I don't know what the shadows could do. Hopefully it's an interesting, unique one. I think some of the cards like Gaunter oh dim, I feel like they need to be super unique. You know, he is the only card that can do this one thing, because he is like one of the most powerful things in the whole of the Witcher universe. So some of the ideas that I had were stuff like, I wanted them to be absolutely unique to Gaunter oh dim. Stuff like your opponent cannot place a special card next turn, or they cannot place a troop card next turn, or possibly even you can place another card straight away now. After you play Gaunter oh dim, you can place another card. So it sounds really powerful, but I don't think it would have been that powerful, because obviously you're wasting card advantage by placing another card straight away. And the first card had to be, it sounds like you get 2 cards, but you don't, because one of them is Gaunter oh dim. So it would allow you to place Gaunter oh dim and then play something else. The only idea that I could think of would be promotion. You wouldn't be able to do a massive muster bond, really high Foltest combo and then promote it, because one of your cards was Gaunter oh dim. So it doesn't seem as bad just saying that you can play 2 cards in a row, one being Gaunter oh dim, one being another card. But yeah, something really unique, and I'm hoping the shadows don't just have encourage. That would be fucking good though. If he spawned a shadow on the melee, a shadow on the ranged, and a shadow on the siege, and they all had encourage, that would be good. That would be a very good card. It would very much seem like what's his face, John Natalis, because he does encourage rally, which does everything on the board, on your side of the board. But these cards would actually count for encourage. They could be buffed and stuff as well. So yeah, the shadows have abilities. Also very reassuring from the CD Projekt Red team that they're actually listening to us. I think a lot of people were disappointed with Gaunter oh shit. So I'm glad they're doing something and trying to rectify that. Hopefully they make it really interesting. He says hopefully you'll find it interesting. Okay, so that is the end of the video on the confirmed changes. So I do want to just add in the Bloody Baron. He didn't get changed, but I'm hoping he does. I was disappointed by him, but we did discover and we did get confirmation on the botchling that he spawns, which is a 4 strength character card with Resilient Plus. And what Resilient Plus does is he's 4 strength, but then at the end of each round he gains +2 strength. So on round 1 he will be 4 strength, on round 2 he will be 6 strength, and on round 3 he'll be 8 strength. The Lubricant, I think, is just a plain old medic. So it's a character card, so it can be picked up. It can be weakened and buffed, which is okay, maybe. I don't know. However, the card on a whole is still very disappointing because Zoltan the Brawler, he is 6 strength and he can't be removed in any way. Whereas the Botchling can be and is only a 2 strength increase, including the Bloody Baron strength as well. Now you may be, I mean, you've got to give him some leeway because the Bloody Baron is a choice card. You get to Medic or Resilient Plus. You know, the choice has some impact, so I'm not sure. It's just disappointing to me. I don't know. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope the microphone was okay for you. Let me know if there's if you liked my voice deeper, please. And I'll see you later, guys. Take care.